My name is Caroline Naylor Oglesby. I'm the Program Director for Early Steps Early Intervention Program in the state of Louisiana. I'm here to share information about early intervention in Louisiana. Individuals with Disability Education Act, IDEA Part C, is administered by the Louisiana Department of Health, Office for Citizens with Developmental Disabilities. The Early Step program meets the Part C requirements for the state's early intervention system. Early Step is a comprehensive statewide system that provides early intervention services to families with infants and toddlers birth through 2 years of age who have a medical condition likely to result in a developmental delay or who have developmental delays. Anyone can make a referral to Early Steps. Referrals are managed by the Early Steps System Point of Entry, or SPO. There is one system point of entry in each of Louisiana's 10 regions. The SPOs are responsible for the initial support coordination of screening, evaluation, and eligibility determination, and the completion of the Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP, for each eligible child and their family. You can access contact information on the SPO for each region by going to Early Steps online. If a child is referred within 45 days of their 3rd birthday, the SPO will provide the family information for the local school district. When a referral is made, IDEA Part C requires that an initial IFSP is completed for an eligible child within 45 days from the date the Early Steps System Point of Entry receives the referral. Within that 45-day timeline, the following activities may also occur: ages and stages questionnaire screening, gathering of developmental, medical, and health, including vision and hearing, history of the child, a multidisciplinary evaluation, review of medical records and diagnosis, eligibility determination, and an initial IFSP. Now let's talk about evaluation and eligibility. A multi-evaluation is completed for a child who does not have an established medical condition. The evaluation results must show delays in 2 areas of development: a developmental delay of 1.5 standard deviations below the mean. There are some established medical conditions that impact a child's development, and therefore, a child may automatically be determined eligible for early intervention services. Eligibility may also be determined by the evaluator's informed clinical opinion. This is when a child does not have an established medical condition or developmental delays. However, the team has decided that early intervention services can support this child during the evaluation process. If a child is not eligible, the intake coordinator will provide community resources available for families. Should there be additional concerns in the future, a child may be re-referred as long as that child is under the age of 3 and is not within 45 days to their 3rd birthday. If a child is eligible, the next step in the process is the completion of an initial IFSP. Now, let's talk about the service plan for children who are eligible. The Individualized Family Service Plan, or IFSP, is a legal document that outlines the early intervention services for the child and family. The IFSP is developed by the IFSP team, which includes the family, support coordinator, and other qualified personnel involved in the provision of early intervention services. It is based on the multidisciplinary evaluation of the child and a family-directed assessment to identify the resources, priorities, and concerns of the family. The IFSP also includes the services to support the child's participation in the family's daily routines and activities. The intake coordinator will coordinate the initial IFSP meeting at a place and time convenient for the family. The family may invite anyone to this meeting. There are 17 early intervention services identified under Individuals with Disability Education Act, Part C. One of those services is support coordination, which is required for all children in early intervention. At the initial IFSP meeting, the family is assigned a family support coordinator. Other services are determined based on the IFSP outcomes. Early intervention services are provided in the child's natural environment, such as the child's home, child care center, in-home child care, relative's home, or any other community setting typical for children birth through 2 years of age. The IFSP is reviewed on a quarterly basis. Eligibility is redetermined annually. Families are not charged for screenings, evaluation, and IFSP meetings. However, there is a family cost participation, which is established for the purpose of assessing a cost participation to parents of children who receive early intervention services. Family cost participation is being implemented statewide and applies to children who are not Medicaid eligible. State funds and federal funds may also be accessed for early intervention services. During the IFSP meeting, the team will discuss funding sources with the family. Additional information about family cost participation in early steps can be accessed by going to the website. Now let's talk about the transition steps when a child is exiting out of early intervention. The Family Support Coordinator provides support to the family throughout their involvement with early steps. This also includes a smooth transition out of early intervention. Early intervention services ends 1 day before an eligible child turns 3 years of age, or that child is no longer eligible for early intervention. The Family Support Coordinator will provide resources on programs and agencies that provide services for children 3 years old or older. This may include Head Start, the local school district, and/or private and public preschools. At any time, a family can decline early step services. If you have any questions or want to know more about Early Steps Early Intervention Program, you may go to Early Steps online.